Hi everyone, Lisa here from LC Designs. Welcome to Workshop Wednesday. I'm coming to you live from my craft room here in Rio Rancho, New Mexico. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Lisa Cunningham and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, like I said, in Rio Rancho, New Mexico. And I come live every Wednesday at 6 o'clock p.m. Mountain Time. All right, let's turn the camera down and get started. So just a couple of things that I want to remind you about. As always, if you want the PDF tutorial, go ahead and sign up for my email list, and you'll get a new tutorial every Friday in your inbox. And don't forget to share my video. You can share my video on YouTube or on here on Facebook. Wherever you show it, just comment that you show it so that I know that you are, that you shared it and I enter your name. The one thing I forgot was our trick or treat retreat. So let me grab it and let me, it'll give you guys a chance. Actually, I don't even have my projects in front of me. I'm sorry, I forgot. So anyway, our trick or treat retreat is a retreat that myself and my friend Heather and Patty created together. We do our sweet surprise together as well. So this class, or this retreat, is going to be $65, and you're going to get a half a pack of the Spooky Sweet DSP. Like I said, I don't even have all my stuff here with me. A half a pack of the Shimmer Stars. I do have that. A half a bolt of the Petunia Pop Iridescent Ribbon. You're going to get a project kit that's going to have all the supplies to make 3 fun fold cards and 3 3D projects. This is big. And you're going to use some of the materials that you receive, your stars, your designer series paper, to put your projects together, but you're going to have enough to make other projects with. You're going to get pillow gifts from us, the PDF tutorial, and priority shipping. This we're going to ignore right now, the in-person class, because I have to look at my schedule. I was trying to figure this all out today. I have so many classes coming. And then another option would be to just buy the PDF tutorial from us, and that's $20. And then if you add on the bundle, the Spooky Halloween, this is the one that we'll be using. If you add on this bundle, you'll get the full bolt of ribbon instead of the half a bolt. All right, so if you have any questions, I will put the link, I'll probably put the link to register in the comments, because for whatever reason, Facebook, when you put a link, your stuff doesn't get seen. It gets pushed to the bottom, I guess. That's how it works. I'm not sure how all this algorithms work, if I even said that right. So today we have this fun box here in New Mexico. The kids go back to school tomorrow, and actually my September Let's Create Card Club, I'm going to use the same bundle. We're using the Just a Note, which some reason that's missing. Oh my goodness, I'm going to have to find that. I had it here. Usually I have everything right here in my box, and of course I don't. So anyway, that's going to be my next Let's Create Club, and I have some fun projects with that. That's going to come later. So anyhow, this is a cute box to give to your teacher. You want to see what I put inside? So here's what I put inside that the kids can give to their teacher. I put some Post-it notes and a hand sanitizer. Now look, I got like four Post-it note packs. These we're like $1 at Walmart right now in the back to school section. So what teacher wouldn't like that? But before I forget, because you know me, I always say, oh, I'm going to show you something in the end, and I forget. I'm going to show you a couple of other things that you could put in here before I forget. I have another box that I was messing around with, kind of like my my one that I originally started with was this one. This is just this is not even done or anything. This is my prototype, I guess I should say. But look, this fits 2 Little Debbie apple pies. How cute is that? So they fit in there perfect. So if you want to give the teacher a sweet treat, you can put these Little Debbie apple pies. Or if you want another sweet treat for the teacher, the Hostess coffee cakes, these fit in here just as well. And I don't know why that one's so dark. It looks like this one that they forgot to put the cinnamon sugar on. I just bought the box a while ago because I was trying to find things that would fit. But 2 Hostess cakes would fit in, 2 Hostess coffee cakes. So I didn't want to go buy a bunch of sweets. But possibly Little Debbie, they have the snack cakes as well. But I think it's like a double pack. Those might fit in there too. This is kind of bothering me. I think they just forgot to put the cinnamon sugar on it. But anyhow, so those are some other ideas to, you know, for a teacher gift. But what teacher doesn't like a sweet? Probably especially after the first day of school, they're going to need some sweets. So those are some other ideas. This box is exactly the same size. Like I said, this was my prototype, and I wanted to find some other things to put in it. But I like the Post-it notes and the sanitizer because they always need sanitizer, and who doesn't use a ton of Post-it notes? Because I sure do. All right, after all that, let's get started. I'm going to have to find my bundle, though. We're going to be using this beautiful paper. Now, I didn't buy the bundle that coordinates with this because I just love the paper. So I wanted the paper so that I can do, you know, different projects with. But I'm just using the paper. But look at how pretty. The back sides are solid. And then the front are floral. So I think this is Floral Impressions. Yep, Floral Impressions. But like I said, I didn't buy the bundle to go with it. So let's get started with our box. We are going to need a 7 3/4 by 9 1/4. So let's cut this down to 7 3/4 first. 7 3/4 by 9 1/4. And I forgot to grab my Simply Score, so we're going to score this. So we're going to score the long side, which is a 9 1/4 side, at 1 1/4. Right here. Make sure that my blade is out of the way and I'm using my scoring. So 1 1/4, 4, 5 1/4, and 8. Then we're going to turn it to the short side, the 7 3/4 side, and we're going to score it at 1 1/4 again, and 6 1/2. So if you didn't want to do the 6 1/2, it's basically 1 1/4. So you could just turn it around and score it 1 1/4 again and see. All right, so we're done with our scoring. So who's ready for the kiddos to go back to school? My grandson, who's the baby, you know, my LC for Lillian Cruz. Cruz is gonna start high school next week. Today he had to go for all his like little orientation and stuff. And I cannot believe my baby grandson is going to high school. And then get this, he is going to the same high school as I went to, his parents went to, and you know, me and all my siblings went there. And then his sister, she graduated last year. I only have the 2 grandchildren. I'm one of those ones who wanted a ton of grandchildren, and so far I only have 2. So that's why everything's like Lillian Cruz, Lillian Cruz. So I'm cutting up the score lines on the long side. I'm over here yakking away. But our kids here in New Mexico, they start school tomorrow, like I said. So I wanted my Let's Create card club for this month. I wanted to do the class that I'm actually doing next month, but the bundle that I'm using today was on back order. So that's why I had to change the month for it. And again, I have to find that bundle. I have no idea where it is. I probably have it over in my stack of stuff for the next month's class. Okay, so our box is actually going to go like this. This is going to fold over. So these 4 tabs are going to go on the inside of one side, like I'll say in my instructions, and then the other 2 go on the other side. So let me grab my clothespins as always. Me and my little clothespins. I haven't made a trip to the dollar store in a while, and I really need to go just to go check out things and see what else maybe I can create with. But this, if I was in town with my grandchildren, well, my grandson, I would be making a lot of these and sending them to him, even though he's going into high school. You know, those high school teachers, they don't get as much attention as the elementary teachers do. Like, so what teacher wouldn't want a surprise, especially from a high schooler? All right, so now these 2 tabs are going to go into this section, this one. And this is going to fold over. Oops, oh, there I went with the glue. Fold over. Clothespin that. And clothespin this one. And we're going to let these dry. Close up my glue. It has been so hot here. I don't know how hot it's been where you guys are at, but it has been hot. Hot, hot, hot. I'm looking to see if there's any comments. Right now I'm so hot. I even have the AC going, but hello, Patty. I have the AC going, but I don't feel it here in my craft room. I think because I have these 2 windows here, and it just, the heat comes in, and of course right where I'm standing. So we're going to cut this beautiful DSP, like I said. So actually I probably didn't even need to open that. We're going to cut our top piece at 5 1/8, which is 2 notches after the 5 on this trimmer. So 5 1/8. I always like that narrow border instead of a 1/4 inch border. And we're going to cut it at 2 5/8, which is 2 notches after the half. So that's our top. And I'm going to need a piece at 1 1/8, which is going to be for the front and the back. And it is 5 1/8 as well. So this is already 5 1/8 and 1 1/8. Again, 2 notches after the 1. And that's for our front and our back of the box. And then for the sides, I'm going to go ahead and cut this at 1 1/8. Hi, Sandy. It's been high 90s there. Tomorrow you're getting into the triple. Oh, my goodness. You know, I have a daughter that lives in Southern California. She lives in Studio City. And I actually haven't talked to her in a bit. So I'm going to cut this at 1 1/8. I keep talking and then I can't, I can't focus. Okay, 1 1/8 and then 2 5/8. And this is the sides. So, you know, I know that's hot for you. So 2 5/8. That one's going to be a little bit short. Did I cut that right? Yes, I did. Okay, so we're going to cut it 1 1/8 again. Yeah, I know you guys have been getting some crazy weather there in Southern California. So 2 5/8. You are in Southern California, correct? Okay, now let me make sure I cut all those. Oh, well, before we do that, so those are all our designer series papers. Now I forgot, we need an insert. So on mine, my insert is going to be for the Post-it notes and the hand sanitizer. So if you were going to do like the snack cakes like I showed or the pies or whatever, you don't need an insert. But my Post-it notes were 3 inches by 2.5. Your standard are like probably, let me see, I have one here. We could measure. So you would have to, your insert would be different. And actually this one might not even fit in this box. So this is 3 by 3. Will this fit? No, it's going to get smushed. See, that's why mine was 2.5 and then by the 3 the long way. So you would just have to make your box wider depending. So my insert is going to be specifically for the 3 by 2.5 Post-its and a hand sanitizer. So we need 2 3/4, and we're doing garden green again, by 7 1/4, 7 1/4. And then now I'm going to move my blade out of the way and we're going to score again. So now we're going to score at 3 1/8. Again, 2 notches after the 3, 4 1/8. So 2 notches after the 4, and then 5 1/8. 2 notches after the 5. And so see, this section here is for the Post-it and then here's for the hand sanitizer. So we're just going to fold all these. There's nothing fancy about folding them. Move this out. I wanted to do this so then we can let this dry. We're just going to add some glue in here. So add some glue to one side and then it's just going to adhere. Put a couple more of my clips, let those dry. And back to our box. All these clips. I like them to use the clips. So see, this is just going to fold right on over. And you can cut your sides diagonally if you want, however you want your box to look. So we're going to glue. This is our top, like I told you. We're gonna put our top on. Say hello. Let me know where you're watching from. I won't embarrass you. I won't call you out. I'll just say hi. How about that? And then here's the pieces for the front. Before I added glue, I probably should have double checked to make sure my measurements were right. Because I don't know why. Sometimes I'll know what my measurement is, and then when I go to write it down, like say it's 4 1/4, and I'll write down 4 1/2. So don't ask me why, but I do that. I think I'm just thinking about other stuff. I don't know. I don't know what I'm thinking about, but this is our side. Put our side. Isn't this paper so pretty? You know, the Notes and Totes bundle, I had been using that a lot. I had been using this paper with that bundle, making the little tote bags with these patterns. So pretty, especially for summer. All right, so there's our box. Where is our insert? Now, here's our insert. And this is totally up to you. You could not tape it down. You can glue it down, or you can just you know, put it in there. So it's up to you what you want to do. So where is, I guess I have to open this one back up because my stuff is in here. For those of you who missed the beginning, I put a hand sanitizer and some Post-its, and it's got 4. And I believe this whole pack was $1 at Walmart. So there's our box for our teacher. And now we're gonna add, uh-oh, my thing came unglued. My darling duckling ribbon. And we're just gonna, I always tie my bows upside down because then they come right side up. So my box is upside down right now for the moment. This darling duckling. Oh, and a reminder, the you know, the in color sale is going on right now. So you'll save 15% on any, that's way too long, that little, you'll save 15% on the in color stuff. And so this darling duckling ribbon is included in that sale. This is a pretty yellow. I'm not a huge yellow fan, but I don't know. Sometimes I end up liking, like I really liked Lemon Lolly when that first came out. Haven't used it in a while. So we're just gonna move our bow to the side. And now let's create our papers. Let me get all this stuff out. I'm a messy crafter. Are you a messy crafter? Who's there with me as a messy craft? I try to pick up as I go along, but then I just get a lot more stuff somehow. So we're gonna cut our pieces of paper with this die. And we're gonna cut one in basic white and one in darling duckling. I have my little bin here that I keep all my stuff in, and I keep throwing things in there, and it's like, I think we're gonna have to do the darling duck. We'll do the darling duckling first, because this is a big piece of paper. And then we'll do all the others. But I wanna show you how fun these dies are, because, like I said, I think I have my bundle over there in my class bucket. I try to stay organized with all these little, these bins. I put all my stuff in these bins. And so I think I have my class over there in that bin. So on this one too, I want to let you know, so you can either stamp it first or die cut it first. It depends how good of a stamper you are. You know, where you're going to want to put your lines or so. So I'm going to move this out of the way so we can do our others. So it's whatever's easiest to, if you're going to stamp on it, you know, you could stamp first or you could stamp after. This one we're not stamping on. We're going to need this little silver foil for our clip. And we're going to need some garden green for our hearts. And this is a heart like paper clip. Super cute. And these are just some mini hearts that we're going to use. And let's cut. And then I'm going to have to run it through one more time because I need one more of the small hearts. I wish, it's kind of one thing I wish they would have gave us 2 of. Because wait till I show you the other thing. So here's our basic white paper. We're done with that die. Here's like our heart. See, it's like a paper clip. And this heart, and we just need one more of these. Like I said, if they had given us 2, I could have ran it through once. All right, and I think that is it on the die cutting. Oh, so you live in the San Joaquin County, huh? close to where I live. I have a brother that lives in Tracy. And hi, Heather, you're watching from your backyard? Are you in the hot tub? So look how cute these dies cut. This is the paper, the clip. There's a star, the heart. The one die does cut the 2 arrows, cuts the 2 paper clips, cuts these 2. Here's that heart one. And then this is like a binder clip. So let me find my bundle. And that's exactly where it was, where I thought it was. So this is the bundle we're using. It's called Just a Note. And see the other dies, because I've already pulled out, but you kind of see, and some stamps. I knew it was with my other class, but good thing I had this. I always try to die cut and then put a piece with my dies, so then I know what I can die cut. Okay, back to the project. Instead of getting side, let's get all our little pieces. I'm going to tie this because this untied bow is bothering me. And just so I could get that out of the way, and then we can compare this. This is weird because I glued this, so I'm not sure how that came undone. I'm going to have to re-glue. Usually that glue sticks like crazy. Okay, so now we're going to stamp. Normally, I probably would have stamped first, just because since you can't see through this, that I'm guessing where my lines are going. So I'm going to use some Memento Black, and if I mess it up bad, I will stamp. But some people are really good. I'm just not one of those people. And then I probably have it on my block crooked. So I'm just going to go right there. And did you know that the longer that you hold your stamp down, the darker that your ink is going to be underneath? I learned that recently. My lines are a little bit crooked, but I think that is okay. So now what we're going to do, because this is going to be at an angle anyway, so it might look pretty good. So we're going to stamp Happy Back to School and Darling Duckling. So I'm going to stamp it at an angle. I'm going to do it in Garden Green in the middle, and then I'm going to do it again in Darling Duckling. So I'm going to have to clean my pad, my stamp, I should say. And then we're going to stamp it in Garden Green. This, have you guys been seeing my summer inspiration? The other day it was the one on Tuesday. Every Tuesday I've been putting something, and so Tuesday was the last one since the kids are going back to school. And it was something about stamping the sentiment 3 times, but I think it was on a fun fold card. So kind of an idea. So this we're just going to layer at an angle. So we're going to add some glue. And this, you're not going to put glue all over because it's just going to be like so. And then our hearts, I'm going to put a dot here and a dot here. And, uh-oh, I should have put my clip first, but it's okay. And this one, so what I did is I glued this, put some glue like here. That's why I'm surprised, but I'm going to add just a couple little dots here. I'm really surprised that that came unglued somehow. And so we're just going to slip that right under there like so. Okay. So, this is what I was talking about, adding our clip. So for the clip, I use mini dimensionals. Let's see if I even have any minis. Mini. Today I was working on so many classes that I use like a ton of dimensionals today. I even walked out of my craft room. My husband's like, you have a dimensional on you? I was like, oh, what a surprise. So there is our like clip. And so we can move this down. And what I did is I put a couple of dimensionals above the ribbon. Where's my, oh, right there. And then below the ribbon, because this is kind of going to cover most of the box. And we're going to go just like that. And then now we're going to add these low profile sparkle dots. So this is Darling Duckling, and we're going to add a small one to each of the hearts. And then these others, they're actually not garden green, they're mossy meadow. And we're going to add one here and one here. But I think they kind of look like garden green. What do you think? I think so. So that is our project. Now, how easy is that? So if you have kids going to school tomorrow and you want to send them with something for their teacher, there's your gift. A little quick gift for the teacher. What do you guys think? Do you guys want to see a sneak peek of my Let's Create Card Club for next month? It's using this bundle. Let me know if you want to see it so I could go grab it. Meanwhile, I could glue this one. That is so odd. I can't believe that came off. Maybe I thought I glued it and I didn't. I'm pretty sure I did though. Like I said, I was doing so many projects today. I went through tons of dimensionals. Not so much glue, but we'll put that right there. All right, I'm gonna show you my class for next month. Let's keep these in the camera. So I'm using the same bundle, and although this is like back to school, it is you can use these cards all year long just to tell your teachers how much, your kids' teachers, grandkids, whatever, how much you appreciate them. So here's the first card. And look, you can personalize it. I put Miss Cunningham. I used to work at a school. I wasn't a teacher, but I worked at a school. But look, it's a gift card holder. You put your little gift card. And look, the one, you're my lucky charm. That's the name of my team. My Stampin' Up team is the Lucky Charms. So this is card number 1. This is card number 2. It's a chalkboard. And then we've got some little hearts in there, and you can just tell your teacher like how much you appreciate him or her. And here is another one that looks like a clipboard, and it says happy back to school. You would have to change that if you're not using it now for back to school. And then look at my little sanitizer holder. My poor thing's so dirty, but it holds a little sanitizer. This one says thanks for everything. But it looks like a little piece of paper, and it holds so that is my Let's Create Card Club for next month. This one won't go, registration won't be for at least a few weeks, I think. Again, I'm trying to remember all these dates. I think this one actually will start on the 24th because I have well, look, I have it. Yes, it'll begin August 24th will be registration for that class. All right, everybody. I hope you guys have a great evening. Stay cool if it's hot where you're at, or if you have that crazy rain, stay dry. We just had some crazy thunder and rain, but as quick as it came in, as quick as it left. But all right, y'all, you have a great rest of your week, and I will see you next Wednesday. Take care, everybody. Bye.